gotta make sure when you're talking, you're looking at the camera. Okay? Over there. Don't look at yourself because you won't be looking at the camera. Are you ready? Hi, you guys. This is LQ from Couple and Cultured. And I'm joining you guys. We are live on vacation. We are currently in Playa del Carmen in Mexico, but we wanted to come to you guys to do a quick little Q&A video. I thought it would be really cool to do this with Ryan, just so you can get to know a little bit more about us and get our perspective on a couple of questions. We have 10 questions for you guys today, and we're going to be answering them as truthfully as possible. All right, so we're going to jump straight into it. We're not going to linger with you guys. 10 questions, and the first question is, how did we meet? I'm curious to see if we have the same memory about how we met. How did we meet?
Mutually, I met her through my mom's. You know, her and my mother met. Worked at the same school, and I was shown a picture of her, and told my mother I liked her. I liked what she looked like, and get a number from me. My mother, knowing my past behaviors, shot me down and said, "Boy, get out of my face." I would say like a week and a half, 2 weeks later, my mother came and gave me her number, and that was it. That was the beginning of the story.
So that's how we met, right? I agree with that story, but I do feel like there's a little bit of discrepancy because when his mom told it was that he saw my picture and he was like, "Oh, I want to meet her. I like her." And his mom was like, "How do you like her? You don't even know her." And he was like, "It's just something about her. And I like her. Get a number from me." I agree with him though. His mom did say that she was in opposition of giving me his number because she knew why he was. He was a little player. But it all worked out. So I feel like we both have the same general idea of how we met. But once that happened, once he got my number, he was very I must say he was very proactive. He reached out to me. This was around the holiday season, around Christmas time, but once things settled, he was like on it. Like he was like, "Let me take you out on a date. Do you have any preferences on when you would like to go?" Because we lived in different boroughs at the time. He was on time to pick me up. He was a complete gentleman. And one thing I liked was like at the end of the day, he was scheduling the next day. So he was very consistent, and it was just great. Like from when I met him all the way to now. All right. Next question.
All these questions is me answering them?
It's both of us answering them.
Okay.
I'll let you answer, and then I'll come back and give my
I just want
answer.
to know. Okay.
All right. So, all right. Question number 2. What was our first impression of each other? So, what was your first impression of me?
My first impression, was I didn't like her big hair. She used to have she used to wear her hair big, big styles.
Curly, big and curly.
Yeah, big and curly, and that wasn't a turn off for me. And I said to myself, if she on my second date, I'm gonna give her a pass. And on my second date, if she came back out with that big and curly, I don't think it would have went to a third date. But the powers that be must have said something to her, because the next day she had her hair in a different style that I liked, and I was like, wow. I was able to really admire her beauty for what it is. Not saying that she was ugly, but just the hairstyle was not appealing or attractive to me.
Okay. On our first day, I had like crochet, big curly crochet hair. He's right, he was big. And then the second day, I don't know. Like I used to change my hair a lot, so I was just like, oh, let me do a cute little bob. Simple, straight bob. It was cute, but I think it was like, it was one of those things that it would just happen to be needed to happen, you know, for him. Like you said, he wouldn't have took me on the second date. All right, so my first impression of him, I thought he was mean. I thought that he was, first impression, I wasn't able to see his personality, so I thought that he was kind of like very militant. You guys know on I don't know if y'all know that, like if I'm dating myself, the movie Look Who's Talking, when the babies is talking, and I can't remember if it's 1 or 2. You ever seen that movie before, Look Who's Talking? Anyway, on one part when she's dating different guys trying to find a good stepfather for her baby, she's like going through the different guys, and one of the guys was like very militant, like, why didn't you put this color sock in that drawer and this, you know, this drawer is. That's the vibe that I got from him. Like, he just seemed very direct. He didn't laugh much on our first date. He was just like grilling me with all these questions, like, you know, do you want to get married? How many kids would you like? What do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, all of those questions that women tend to ask and they tell us not to ask. Those are the questions he was asking me. So I was like, I don't know if he's for me, because I'm very silly and like, I'm very goofy and like spirited. So I wasn't sure. But when we went on our second date, he opened up a lot, and I think it was because he felt comfortable around me, because I was being my little silly goofy self. So that was my first impression of you. I thought you was mean. Did you know that? Ah, interesting. All right, question number 3. Who said I love you first? I can't remember it, to be honest, but I don't doubt that I did. But if I did say it first, it's because I already knew you loved me.
Okay.
I feel like I knew that you was smitten by me early on. I could tell your actions. You didn't have to say it. Your actions said that you loved me early on.
Okay.
Like, so if I did say, and I probably did, if I did say I love you first to him, it was because he told me that he loved me consistently through his actions.
Okay.
I'm doing a high five.
Okay, you doing a high
I'm doing a high five.
We
Okay.
do dabs though.
Okay, we do dabs. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 4. What is your favorite memory of us together? Favorite memory that we've created together?
Favorite memory besides the trips, you know what I mean, of us having fun. The greatest memory I can recall, besides us always traveling, you know, every year, twice a year, maybe 3 times out of the year. I would say the time when I picked you up and we was singing, we was karaoke inside the truck, you know what I mean, and we sat back and we listened to some Dr. King speeches and,
and Isley Brothers.
And we sung some Isley Brothers. So that was the most, you know, memorable, most fun moment. Because I'm not a singer, and I try not to sing, and I try not to open up in that fashion to no one. So
Right.
she got to see the emotional, relaxed, calm side of me that I really don't rarely show anyone. So other than that, that was my most memorable moment.
I didn't expect you to say that.
That's when I began to open up. When she was like, when she thought I was mean, that's when I opened up.
Right. That's eye-opening. I appreciate that, because that was early on in our dating, you know, timeline.
Besides our traveling, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, but it's just, it means that, you know, something significant happened between us early on. You know what I'm saying? Just to solidify the deal. I remember that too. That was very fun. If I had to say my favorite memory, I mean, this would be, cliche, but I would say our wedding, when you read your vows to me in front of everybody. I think that was my favorite moment, aside from when he proposed to me. But his vows and like him really expressing how he felt about me and us being together and our outlook for our future, I think that was our favorite memory. Well, my favorite memory of us. You know. All right, so number 5.
How many more we got?
It's 10 total, Brian.
Okay, I thought we was already at 10.
No, we at number 5.
Okay.
Okay. What? Because I have them written down here. Okay. What do you love most? What do we love most about each other? So, what do you love most about me? Don't say what you said earlier. You don't say that.
Well, you said be original.
I know, but we can't put that on YouTube.
Okay. You said be original.
Okay. All right. Okay. I won't censor you.
Yeah, exactly. Don't
right,
you know? It's a lot that I love about you. You know what I mean? Your energy. I love your ability of never wanting to give up on stuff that you put your mind into. You know what I mean? No matter how much I'll be like telling you, trying to deter you from away from your goals, your passion, and things that you enjoy doing. I love your drive. You know what I mean? Of not wanting to stop. You know, your drive is enough to love. You know what I mean? Because you're not a quitter. You know what I mean? So what I love about you is your drive of being a go-getter. You know what I mean? No matter what, no matter if you see a profession or you want to continue your education. You know what I mean? You just don't stop at wanting to succeed or grow. Or you know what I mean? She's a person you can grow from and learn from. She's very inspirational, very smart. She got enough degrees, but her degrees doesn't define her. You know what I mean? She can point you in direction to get you to where you would like to be or where you want to be. She inspired me a lot of times. You know what I mean? She pushes my buttons to make me want to go further in life. And without her, I've always been on the verge of being a go-getter.
Yeah.
But with her push, makes me want more. So, your drive is what makes me love you.
Okay. How can I top that? Thank you, babe. What do I love most about you? It's too many things to name. I can't. It's very difficult to narrow it down. But if I would try to narrow it down, it would definitely be your honesty, like, and friendship. So I feel like, we're all human, and in relationships, I feel like as you go through the course of getting to know each other and, building your lives together, becoming one, there are layers of yourself that you pull back, right? You start to expose more of who you are, and you start to get more comfortable with someone. I don't feel like in relationships that we're completely honest with each other at all times. Many times we're not honest to shield or protect each other's feelings, or more so in the early phases of the relationship, you're trying to get to know each other and just navigate, trying to come together with this person. But one thing that I do love about you is how you're willing to share things with me even when they're uncomfortable or that are typically hard to share in a friendship. Like, as a woman, we want girlfriends or homegirls that is going to call us out on our BS, even if we don't want to hear that, or they know that it's going to upset us. With him, I appreciate that he knows like certain things would upset me, or he knows that it would make me uncomfortable, but he still loves me enough to be transparent with me or to call me out when I'm doing something that is not cool. I appreciate that about him. I also appreciate his consistency. He does not waver. I know that at the end of the day, I got somebody that I can count on. I got somebody that really cares about me, my emotional state, my mental state, how I'm doing, and I really have a partner in this life. And those are the things that are serving to me. But the things that are just genuinely about him that I love is just his tenacity, his commitment to his family. Um, he's like a man's man. You know, you can count on him to just do what he gotta do for himself and for the people that he loves. And he's a hard worker. Like, I don't know any man that works harder than him and that's committed to being a provider in the way that he does. And just, you know, just being a pillar, you know, a rock, just such a strong person, somebody that people can really count on and lean on, you know, in multiple areas of life. So those are things that I love about you. Okay. All right. We're moving right along. So number 6, what is your love language and how do you know? So I'm going to say what your love language is and why I think that is. You got to say what my love language is and why you think that's my love language. So there are 5 love languages, right? Acts of service, so doing things for the person. Gifts, giving gifts. Quality time. Physical touch. And words of affirmation, so complimenting you, telling you that they appreciate, blah, blah, blah. So what do you think is my love language? How do I like to be loved, and what makes you think that?
Physical touch, words of affirmation, and quality time. Simple. Simple.
Okay.
That's what I can say about
How do you know that? Because that's what I asked of you.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that yours is acts of service. I think that words of affirmation, but not out loud. Like, I think that's something you probably didn't expect. You probably, you know, I'm not trying to say you don't know yourself, but I feel like it's something that you wouldn't expect to be a love language of yours because you're such a like tough guy. But I give you a lot of words of affirmation, and I think that you like it. Do you like it, or does it come on too strong?
It's all right.
So that's not a love language of yours. So you don't like for me to tell you I appreciate you. I think you're handsome. You
I'm
look
not saying
nice.
I'm not telling you not to say it, but it doesn't really, you know, every once in a while it's needed, but not all the time.
So then I'll scratch that one off. Well, then I think it's acts of service, doing things for you. Probably gifts, but I can't afford you. And
Why you can't afford me?
that's all I can think of.
Why you can't afford me?
Because I can't afford you. The things that you enjoy are above my pay grade. So, but yeah, so see, I thought that words of affirmation was something that it was a love language of his, but it's a love language of mine. So it's kind of funny because he'll give me words of affirmation, but not as much as I give to him. And I probably give it to him as much as I do, which is constantly, because that's what I want. So I love him in the way that I want to be loved instead of in the way that he wants to be loved. I thought that he appreciated or liked me constantly telling him. And I don't do it just for that reason. I really mean it. But I thought that he enjoyed me constantly telling him, you know, that I appreciate the things that he does, or just reminding him how I feel about him, or, you know, complimenting him. But that's not a big thing for him. You know, he just shares. So, but it is a big thing for me. So sometimes it's funny that we love people in the way that we want to be loved. You know what I'm saying? All right. Number 7. Who is the most jealous between you and I?
Yeah, I would say both of us, but more you than me.
I agree. I think that both of us are jealous, but I probably am more than he is. That is true. I can't. I gotta agree with that. That is true. 'Cause I don't play about him. Okay. So number 8, we're moving right along. Now that we're married, what family traditions would we like to create for our family?
Well, family wealth, legacy, being able to pass down what we done built. A legacy. You say.
Yeah. One thing that I would like to do, this is major specific, but I think more like making, taking advantage of holidays more. Like what I would like to do, and this is specifically for like Christmas time. I would love it if we started a tradition with our family to where we did a Christmas movie night, sleepover, pajamas, hot chocolate, and all of that on Christmas Eve with the kids. We get up that morning, we open up gifts, let the kids play with their stuff, and the day after Christmas, we fly away to a new country or somewhere, and we spend New Year's in a new place each year. I would love for that to be a tradition of ours. All right, you gonna keep me on your phone?
Go ahead, do your thing.
We doing our thing.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, so number 9. We almost done, Brian. All right, number 9. What are deal breakers in your marriage?
Something got to happen for me to have a deal breaker. I can't really like elaborate on it. You know what I mean? It got to be something that takes place. I don't just go based on planning my mind on if this happens, this is gonna be how I'm gonna respond. I don't know how I will respond until an act happens. So I can't really speak on something that I know not of. You know what I mean? I only act. It's like every action has a reaction. So until that act happen, I can't really speak on it because every thing that takes place is not going to be the same if I was to say, oh, this is what take place or that would happen. So I can't really.
It's hard because you just never know.
Yeah, you never know.
I would say a deal breaker in our marriage would be infidelity. You know, if you cheat on me, go have a baby with somebody else or something to that degree. You know what I'm saying? That would be a deal breaker for me. But piggybacking on what you said, like you just never really know how you respond to certain things. Like we've had that conversation before. Like, oh, if you walked in on me with a man, what would you do? You would assume you would like spaz, that you would beat people up and start shooting people. But you might walk in on your spouse and just be completely shocked and stunned, or you may run off crying, or you may just, walk out. You just never know. You never know what your mental state would be. So I understand now. All right, number 10. If the cops called and said that I was in jail or vice versa, what do you think it would be for? So if the cops called you and was like, we have your wife in custody, what would you assume it was that I did?
For them telling me what was your traffic violation, tickets, speeding. That's I can't think past that.
Cause I'm a good girl.
I don't see you doing nothing outside of speeding, which you do regularly.
Don't put me out like that.
Use lead foot. Being pulled over and your paperwork ain't right. Maybe you don't have an updated insurance card. But
I always have insurance. Don't try to do me like that.
Okay, but I don't know. I don't see.
It would be a traffic violation.
Yeah, it would be a traffic. Yeah.
Try to say I don't have.
I never said you didn't have no insurance.
Okay.
Your insurance card is not updated. Like you won't have it. Be able to, you have to go on your phone.
Okay, I see. So something minor.
Yeah.
If the police called me and was like, ma'am, we have your husband in custody, I would think you beat somebody up. ever think somebody said something to you that you felt was disrespectful and it escalated and you put your hands on somebody?
I'm a good guy.
No. I think that you're way more patient than you have been in the past, but if that happened, I would go straight to you, put your hand, you beat somebody up.
Okay.
All right, so that's question number 10, but I had a bonus question. One more and then we're done. All right, you ready? It's kind of funny because of everything that happened with Keke Palmer and her man. So if, first of all, who is your celebrity crush? And would you let your partner sleep with their celebrity crush one time, and one time only if the opportunity was there? So first, what is your celebrity crush? And then number 2, would you let your partner sleep with their celebrity crush one time?
I don't have a celebrity crush.
Nobody? You just told me one the other day.
I told you Angela Bassett. I said she's a pretty, beautiful woman.
Right, but
I don't have a crush on her.
Okay,
I'm
you just think she's nice.
I just think she's a beautiful lady. Me crushing on somebody. No.
Okay, so maybe I should use a different word. Okay, what's a celebrity that you're sexually attracted to?
I never even thought of that. To that magnitude. You know who I used to have a crush on?
Who?
Mary J.
You told me that.
Yeah, I used to have a crush on Mary J. You know what I mean? So other than Mary J, I never really put in my mind like, oh, I can't, you know.
Okay. All right. So my celebrity crush, I got a bunch of them.
Okay.
But if I just had to pick one, I would say Nasir Jones.
Okay.
Nas. I like him. I think he's an intellectual, and I like him. He's creative. He's smart. Now, if I met Nas at a concert and he invited me back to his place and I would never see him again, but just that one time, would you be okay with me going?
Under what circumstances?
Just he invited me back to his place. I'm never gonna see him again after this.
Business?
No, it's just he liked me. He saw me in the crowd.
He wanted to knock you down.
And he wanted to knock me down. And he invited me back to his room.
I couldn't do it.
No, you wouldn't be like.
Couldn't do it.
Okay. So if you was at a Mary J. Blige concert and she invited you back, I don't know, not Mary J. Blige, I would say no. But if it was Beyonce, I'd say yeah. If it's Mary J. Blige, you can't decline respectfully and
You'll
come
let me
home.
knock Beyonce down?
But I'll let you knock Beyonce down.
Okay.
If she likes
Jay,
you.
no offense.
No offense to Jay, but I mean, it's Beyonce. Like, who wouldn't take?
I wouldn't even, you know what I mean? Like, she's a beautiful, beautiful woman. But I never crushed on yours, and I wouldn't even put that in the back of my mind.
Oh, you're so sweet.
No, I just wouldn't do it. Like, I don't look at her like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But would you do it with Mary J then?
Now, no.
But back then?
Yeah, back in the days, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's it, you guys. Quick little question. Well, it really wasn't quick. We 20-some minutes in, but we just wanted to answer a couple of questions, give you a little bit more insight into us. I feel like as we were answering these questions, I kind of learned a little bit more about you, specifically your love languages and stuff. You probably learned some things about me, but that's it. We on vacation. We about to get back to chilling and having a good time. So we will talk to y'all another time. Ciao. Peace.